to draw conclusions. And if
wait, we're going to pause you there. Pause for a second, okay? So we can all agree that black Americans, right, were subjugated and forced to be slaves for 400 years. Now, if there was a narrative, okay, that was coming from 70 or 80% of the world's population, which is to say that, you know what, there was no slavery, would that make it so?
I'm sorry, I stopped listening once you. I apologize. I got distracted. If you could just focus on just what we're talking about. I don't want to deflect. And can we please, if you don't mind, just stick with the conversation. The analogies, I get lost.
The parallel that I was creating, okay, was that if you choose to be able to follow the narrative of the masses, it doesn't necessarily make it true. That's what I was pointing out to you.
No,
okay, just because
right.
You know, there might
You're absolutely right. But what it comes down to is then where the punishment. That's right. We agree. We agree then. Right, but we agree. But let me ask you, do you think that it's right that almost 40 states have anti-BDS, that the House, however many years ago, passed resolutions saying that the people in the United States can't boycott what Israel is doing? Do you agree?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yep.
You agree that they shouldn't have First Amendment rights to boycott Israel. That's
this is not about boycotting Israel.
That's exactly what it's about. That is what Reaba. That's what my connection was. The elitism that he was talking about, and Zionism. It's all connected. If you don't see it.
I see where you're coming from. The conflation is that BDS is something that is against Israel.
Well, of course, and they have every right to be. They have every right to be, unless you want to be a tyrant and take people's First Amendment rights away and say that they can't boycott Israel. I mean, that's ridiculous. Who's paying for this, right? You want to be a tyrant over the American people? That's crazy. Let people be people. Let the market decide freely. Punishments are insane for speaking your mind. I think that's insane. Anybody that supports that is a tyrant. That's crazy.
So the same sort of you'd be perfectly okay if swastikas were on literally every corner of the American streets. Would you be okay with that?
As long as those people weren't there wasn't any type of force that their taxes had to support things that they don't agree with, because that's what this all comes back to. The American people should have the right to have a free say, regardless. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is. That's why we have the First Amendment, right?
Freedom of expression, right?
Bro, can I boycott Coca-Cola?
Yeah, you can, but he's missing the financial push. This element
you can boycott common sense.
As an element.
Why not Israel?
Over $3 billion getting to them. I mean, and no, I think
$3 billion is couch cushions compared to what the U.S. government spends every year.
People have received more support around the world than any nation or any group of people. No, bro. Israel's way surpassed that. The state of Israel way surpassed that. So I don't know what type of agenda you're pushing here. And besides,
hang on for a second. I'll tell you the agenda that we're talking here, okay? And that is about truth and justice. That's the agenda. Well, okay, you're conflating the support that an arrangement that America and Israel has together with being international aid. Okay, whether you realize it or not, what transacts between Israel and America is not a form of international aid, like entirely. Do you realize that?
Hold on, I'm going to jump in here because there's a lot of back and forth and a lot of weird shit. I'm a Zionist, and I'm also against